Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new in this channel, you are highly much welcome. Please subscribe if you have not done so. Turn on the notification bell so that whenever I post a video, you get to see the video. In this tutorial, I will be teaching you how to make a cargo short just like this. And please head over to watch to the end. Like, share and comment. So guys, let's get started. So guys, here are the materials I will be using for my tutorial. So here is a chinos and it's about 1 yard of trouser length, and the name of the fabric is chinos. So this is my ruler, the straight ruler and the curved ruler. Here's my scissors, my pencil, and here is my tape rule, and of course my pattern paper. So let's get started with the drafting. So guys, I will first of all just go ahead to draw a starting line like this, and this will be a starting line for this drafting. So the first thing I will be doing is to take the length. So then I'm just going to remove 1.5 inches from my band, then take the full length. So from there I'm going to mark 18 inches, and that is the length of the short. So I'm going to add 2 inches to it, making it 20 for my hemming allowance. So I'm just going to rule it as a straight line. The next thing is to take my cross measurement. I divided my hip measurement by 4. Then I'm just going to place my tape rule at this line here to mark whatsoever I have after dividing my hip measurement by 4. Then I'm just going to rule it as a straight line like this. And this is my cross line. So from this cross line here, I come up by 2 inches, and I'm just marking 2 inches like this to make it a straight line, and this will be my hip length. Okay, so after that I'm just going to come to this cross line again and come down by 2 inches again. Okay, I'm just going to mark 2 inches downward like this from my cross line. I'm just going to mark 2 inches like this. Then I'm going to rule it as a straight line, and this line will be my tie line. Okay, then I'm just going to label all this line. Here is my waistline, here is my hip line, here is my cross line, here is my tie line, and here is the full line of the short. So guys, that is that. So the next thing I'm going to take is to divide my hip measurement divided by 4. Okay, I'm going to add 1 inches for my seam allowance. So hip divided by 4 is 9.5. So I'm going to mark it there, and I'm going to add 1 inches to it. Okay, I'm adding 1 inches to it for my hip, for my stitching allowance, because I'm going to take half inches for the side and half inches for the cross part. So I'm going to extend my line to the cross line like this. So I'm going to take it as a straight line. So after that, now the next thing is to take our cross extension. So for you to have your cross extension, go ahead to divide your hip measurement divided by 4. What you have, divide it by 4 again. Let's assume mine is, after dividing my hip measurement by 4, I have 9.5. I divide 9.5 by 4 again. So I have about 2.25. So I'm just going to ignore that 2.5. I'm just going to just place 2 inches there. Okay, so from this triangle shape here, I'm just going to come up by 1 inches to make a curve there, and I'm going to make a curve to the hip line just the way you see it. So guys, this is how it's supposed to be after connecting your curve. Okay, the next step you are going to take is to come to the tie measurements. Then divide your tie measurement by 2 like this. Okay, so I'm going to place it like so, and I'm going to mark it. Then I'm going to add half an inch for my seam allowance there. So guys, the next step is to mark whatsoever we have from the tie line. So I'm just going to minus 1 inches so that the down part will be firm. Okay, will not look just straight. So it's optional though. You can as well leave it the way the tie measurement is. Okay, but I just decided to reduce 1 inches from it. The next step is to divide my waist measurement into 4. Then I'm just going to place it. So at this very part here, I'm going to place my measurement from this line here down to this side. Remember, from the hip part, we measure from the center like this to this other side. But for the waist, we are going to take from the cross line to the other side. Hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So I divide my waist measurement by 4 and I add 1 inches for my seam allowance. Then I'm just going to connect it to the hip line like so. Since it's a female short, I'm just going to come in by half an inch from this cross line. Then I will reconnect my line. Okay, I will just reconnect my line like this. So guys, the next tip is to come to this part here and I'm just going to come down by 1 inches. Okay, then after that, now I'm just going to reconnect it to the waist length. I don't know if you understand, just watch me, you will see what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to reconnect it this way and that is it. Please take note that there's no dart at this very short. I'm not putting dart. Okay, so we'll just go ahead to cut it out. But before we cut, I'm just going to cut this line first because we will use it at the back before we trim out our 1 inches. Okay. So guys, here is the front. We are through with the drafting of the front. So this is me just trying to write front at this part here. Okay, so after that I'm going to use this front to cut out the back. So guys, you can see I've placed my front at another fresh paper. So what you will do is that make sure that you have enough space at the both sides. Okay, and go ahead to pin your pattern paper together just the way you see me pinning. So guys, after pinning, the next step we will be doing is just to take a straight line from this cross line like this. Okay, just take a straight line there. Then the next step is to just this part here, I'm just going to mark 2 inches because the back is not that straight. So from 2 inches I will come up by 1.5 inches this way. Then I'm just going to make it a straight line like this. Okay, then after taking it like this, so just go ahead to mark your to measure your cross measurement. So for the back I use 2 inches. Then you come down by half an inch from that 2 inches like so. Then after that, from this triangle shape here, you come in by 1.5 inches like so. Then you just go ahead to connect the lines, the dots together. So you can see I am removing my pin. Then I'm just connecting these dots to meet this line here. Okay, I'm just going to connect it this way. If you can use your free hand, you can do it. You can go ahead to do it, or anyhow you can do it. Ensure that these 3 points, they are connected in a straight way. So I'm just trying to use my French curve to just try to connect it. Okay, you can see, if you can use your free hand, you can do that, no problem. But you can see me trying to use my curve ruler to connect the lines together, and this is what we have after connecting. So I'm just going to pin back my pattern so that it will not be rough. So guys, after everything, the next step is to come to the waistline here. Just measure what I have at my waist measurement. Then I'm just going to copy it to the back. I'm starting it from this line and I'm going to slant it this way, not straight. I'm just going to slant it this way like this. Okay, then I mark what I have for the waistline like so. Then after that, now I'm just going to connect it just the way you see me doing, like this. So guys, this is it. I'm just doing it. I'm just taking a straight line so that I will make sure these two lines correspond to this point here. So you can see the line matches the front length. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to explain here. So the next step is to come to the hip line, and I'm going to mark 1.5 here. Then I'm going to connect. So for this part there, I'm going to mark 1 inches. Then I'm just going to connect the dots together, just using my straight ruler like this, and I'm just going to connect all the dots together like so. So for the length of the short, I'm using the same length for both the back and the front. So I'm just going to copy what I have there, just trace it out like so. While for this part here, just go ahead to connect from this from the half an inch, okay, not the upper part, from the half an inch, just slide it like this, just what you see me doing, and definitely we are done with the back drafting. Okay, so guys, we are just going to remove all our pin, but before I remove my pin, I'll just go ahead to cut out the 1 inches we come down with for the front. So this is me just trying to cut it out. Then I'm just going to remove my pins like so and take away the front. Then I'm just going to cut the back. So guys, this is it. I'm just going to write back here. So that is that for the back. Okay, so I'll just take it aside and bring the front again. So for the side pocket, I'm just going to come to the upper part like this, and I will mark 2.5. You can use 2 inches, you can use 3 inches, but for the case of this tutorial, I'm using 2.5. And for the length, I'm using 7 inches like this. So I'm just going to connect this line together as a triangular shape like so. You can see I use my ruler to connect it this way, and the next thing is to just cut it out. And this will be our pocket, our side pocket. So for the next thing we are going to do is to bring out another pattern paper, fold it into two like this, and for the width, I'm using 7 inches for my width. For the length, I'm using 12 inches for the length. Okay, so I'm just going to mark my 12 inches, come to this way, mark 12 inches, then I'm just going to rule it in a straight line like so. Then after ruling, I'm just going to cut it according to the line I rule. Then this will be the side pocket. Okay, so for this side here now, I don't need any sharp edge at this part. Then I'm just going to curve it like so. So after curving it like so, I will leave it first, then I will go ahead to open it up, bring the short pattern, which is the short cargo short pattern. So I'm just going to place it like this, just ensure that the upper part corresponds, the side, everything is corresponding well. Then I'm just going to trace out the parts that I trim out. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So that is that. So this part here will be the front pocket, which is the part that will slice. With the other side will be for the back pocket. Hope you understand. So I'm just going to fold it in like so. Then I'm just going to curve this part like this. Okay, so definitely this is the side pocket. So I'm just going to write side pocket at the front of this pocket like so. So I'm just going to take this one outside. Then the next step I'm going to do is to bring another pattern. Then I'm just going to do for the cargo pocket. For this cargo pocket, I'm just doing the simplest cargo pocket. Okay, I'm not going to add side for this pocket. So for the length, I'm using 8 inches for my length, and for the width, I'm also using 8 inches for the width. Okay, 8 by 8 inches. Hope you understand what I'm trying to say. this is me trying to connect my 8 inches all through like so. Then I'll just go ahead to connect it like this, then cut it out, and I'm going to write my cargo pockets. So the next step now is to bring out another pattern, which is another pattern paper. So for this one, I'm using 8 inches for the width, okay, 8 inches for the width, okay, and I'm just going to connect it like so, because we are doing the cover of the cargo pocket. So for the width it must be 8 inches. Then for the length, I'm making use of 2 inches for the length, okay. So for the length of the cover is 2 inches. Then I'm just going to connect it this way. Then after connecting, I'm just going to cut it out. So this is the cover. I'm just going to write it, the cargo pocket cover. So you can see that the pocket and the cover, they are the same length, the same width. So that is that for the pocket. So I'm just going to step this one aside. So the next thing we are going to do is to bring another pattern paper for the zipper flyer. So this is another pattern paper. So for the length of my zipper flyer is 8 inches, okay. I'm using 8 inches length for my zipper flyer. So I'm just going to mark 8 inches like so. Then I'm just going to connect it like this. So for the width, I'm using 2 inches, okay. I'm using 2 inches from starting to the ending, okay. I'm just going to mark my 2 inches this way. Then I'm just going to connect it together. So after connecting, I'm just going to cut it out. So for this part here, I'm just going to curve it a little curve here. So I'm just going to cut it out. So after that, I'm just going to use this one here to, I'm still curving this part because this part is not curved to my satisfaction. So now I am okay with it. So I've just used it to trace out another pattern. So for this circle pattern, I'm not curving the other side. I will just make it straight. So you can see I'm trimming that. You can see this too is a zipper flyer, okay, for our zip. So this is the zipper flyer. I'm just going to take it aside. So the next step now is for the band, the waistband. Here is another pattern paper. So for the waistband, I'm going to divide my waist measurement into 2, because when we are going to fold it, it will be unfold, okay. So I added 3 inches extra to my waist measurement. So for the width of the band, remember we mark 1.5 inches, okay. We remove 1.5 inches, sorry. We remove 1.5 inches from our actual waist measurement. So this is the 1.5 inches that I'm marking here. So when I'm transferring to my fabric, I will add half an inch to it for my seam allowance. So you can see I'm just going to connect all the dots together like this, okay. I'm just going to connect all the dots like this, okay. Take note that I added 3 inches to my actual waist measurement. I added 3 inches to it, and when I want to transfer to my fabric, I'm going to fold the fabric to cut it, okay. Hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Don't worry, when we get to that part, you will understand more better. So this is my waistband, okay, and I'm just going to identify it inside waistband. So these are all the things that we need for this cargo short. So here is my flyer, my cargo pockets, and the main short. This is my band. So these are everything we need for this tutorial, okay. You can see These are all the things we need for the tutorial. In our next class, we will be showing you how to join all these pieces together. So please stay tuned. If you have not subscribed, please hit on the subscribe button. Turn on the notification bell so that whenever I post that video, you get to see the video. Please like, share and comment. Please support this small channel for me, please. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. To see you in my next one.